Hi everyone and welcome back to DeFi Daily, the channel where every day we talk about DeFi, go through different analysis, tutorials and news. Today we're going to talk about Olympus Dao, and we can think about it as the father of Wonderland Money because Wonderland Money is just a fork of Olympus Dao. We will discuss together how does it work, this platform, and if we also try to use it in order to predict the future of the other system that I like Olympus Dao. I'm talking about Climate DAO, Wonderland Money, and so on. Because what is interesting is that Olympus Dao, it is on the market since the mid of June, we can say. So we already have some months of track records and some months of history that we can use in order to understand how the price of the token and also how the APY is changing during the time. And we will also try to understand what are the differences and if there is some difference between this platform and all the other brothers and sisters. Before to start, I would like to ask you to subscribe to the channel. It's really easy. All you have to do is just to press the subscribe button, and please remember also to click into the notification button in order to be always updated every time I post a new video. And please leave me also a big thumbs up in order to help me reach more people and grow the channel. It's just really a small action, but really means a lot to me. Remember also that all the contents in this channel are just for educational purpose and nothing has to be intended as a financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that could be great, but remember, do always your own research before doing anything. Said so, we are ready to start and we can jump into the Olympus Dao platform. This is the homepage of the site, and as you can see from the homepage, there is also a label Olympus Pro, because what is really nice that it has been introduced by this platform is a new version, a new way of managing the liquidity. Because you have to know that the first time that I heard about this kind of platform, my first reaction was, come on, another way to just gambling your cryptos. But after that, after this first idea, I started to dig into these different platforms. And what I noticed is that, yes, they are really high-risk platforms that you don't have to just go all in, because obviously the risk to lose all your money is really high. But on the other side, I really love the fact that they are introducing some new mechanisms, some new dynamics that could be really useful to the whole DeFi ecosystem. And we will discuss in the next video about Olympus Pro, because especially Olympus Pro is probably the greatest news that has been introduced by this kind of platform. But let's go back to just Olympus Dao, that is the main focus of today. As you can see, this is the homepage. Here you can find all the metrics. The current APY is around 8,000. The total value locked is close to 4 billion, and the treasury balance, so how much cryptos they have in their own treasury, is around 600 to 700 million. Here you can find that they are claiming that they have introduced Olympus Pro, as I told you a moment ago. And here you can find how does it work. I will not go through it right now because we will see directly it on how does it work from the app. Anyway, I highly recommend you to have a look to the website and also to their documentation, that I will leave you also the link in the description below, because through these two websites you can also find some important information. Because remember, before doing anything, always have clear in mind how a platform works, because more you are aware of the dynamics of the risks and the opportunities, the better you will be able to manage your investments and take the maximum profit from them. Okay, let's start and let's jump into the app of Olympus Dao. The main page is the dashboard, where you can find all the metrics from the market cap, the price of the token. The token of Olympus Dao is called OHM. This is here, and the price right now is around 1,100. You can find also the value that for how much is backed each OHM, and right now is something less of $200. Here you have also the current index that shows us how much you would obtain if you have started from the first day. And a return on investment of 27 times in just 5 months of history, it is a really high number. Just to give you a comparison, right now on Wonderland Money, the current index is just around 2.5 times. What does it mean? It means that Wonderland Money can grow even 10 times in return on investment from where it is right now. It's quite possible, but that's not a certainty. Remember that there is a main difference between Olympus Dao and Wonderland Money. The first difference is that Olympus Dao is based on Ethereum. On the other side, when we are talking about Wonderland Money, it is on Avalanche. And this is a main difference because staying on Ethereum, it means that the fees are much higher. So it means that most of the people will not sell their token in order to save fees. On the other side, on Wonderland Money, because it is just on Avalanche and fees are quite close, I'm not saying to zero, but are quite cheap, it means that it is much easier to sell their tokens. So the selling pressure could be even higher. So it means also that the volatility of the price could be much higher on a blockchain that has much cheaper fees. So remember it, because yes, we can use the two platforms to compare them, but don't try just to forecast. Try just to think about, try to understand what are the dynamics, what are the opportunities, and what are the features that are allowing a certain kind of result. Because yes, that's true that Olympus Dao is showing that you can reach an index of 27 times, but it's also true that Olympus Dao, it is on Ethereum, and Wonderland Money, it is on Avalanche. I'm not saying that Wonderland Money is not able to reach 27, could be go even higher, but remember about the differences. Okay, let's go on. What is also really interesting to notice from this dashboard is this. The protocol on liquidity, OHM, against DAI. And what is interesting is that the protocol owns almost the whole amount of liquidity of that kind of pair. As you can see right now, they own the 99.86% of the whole pool. And this is quite useful for them because they are not only owning this kind of pool, so they have liquidity, but at the same time they are earning fees because for the fact that they are owning the whole liquidity pool. So each person who wants to exchange their OHM with a stablecoin will use this kind of pool in order to exchange the tokens, and they are producing new revenues, new profits for the protocol, for the Olympus Dao. So keep an eye on this. We will go through much better, much in depth when we will talk about Olympus Dao, because this kind of new logic could really be a breakthrough for the whole DeFi ecosystem, and we will talk exactly how it works. Okay, here you can also find the APY over the time, and as you can see, starting from June, the APY has gone up to 180,000, and since then has decreased from where we are right now, that we are around 8,000. And here you can also find some other interesting metrics. Let's have a look now on how does it work, the platform. The mechanism is quite close to what we have already seen into Wonderland Money, and if you missed that video, we'll leave you also the link in the right corner here, where you can find everything on how does it work, that platform. We have two main mechanisms. The first one is the staking feature, and the other one is the bonding feature. The bonding feature is the equivalent of the minting feature on the Wonderland Money. I would like to start with the bonding feature. That is a way that you can create new OHM tokens. All you have to do is just to choose a pair or just an asset like a WETH, LUSD, and so on. Here you can find all the assets that are available right now. Through the bonding feature, you can acquire, you can buy, it's more correct to say that you can create new OHM tokens at a discounted price, because you are not going to pay the price of the market, but you are going to pay a discounted price. Let's say that the price of one OHM is 100 and the ROI, that is this column here, is let's say 4%, 5%, whatever. It means that if the price is $100, you will gonna pay just $95 for each OHM token, because it is discounted. And this kind of discount, it is in order to incentivize people to provide liquidity into the protocol in order to receive it, to take advantage from this kind of discount. To do it, you have only to click bond, and from this interface you have to approve obviously the token. Remember that we are on Ethereum, so the fees right now are quite high. Once you have approved the contract, you will have the opportunity to provide the liquidity, and as you can see, the liquidity is the ones that you are seeing here. In this case it is NLP tokens, here is just an asset, and so on. So you have previously to be sure that you have this kind of asset into your wallet. Once you have it, you can deposit into the protocol. And from that moment, the count will start a counter of 5 days. And for these 5 days, you will not be liquid on the market, because your liquidity will be simply locked. And after 5 days, you will receive your OHM tokens at the discounted price that you have blocked in the moment when you added the liquidity. So this kind of mechanism is great in the moment when the price of the token is increasing, because you are not only taking advantage from the fact that you are buying at a discounted price, but also for the fact that the price of the token is increasing. On the other side, to incentivize people to keep their own OHM tokens, there is this staking feature that right now it is offering an incredible APY of 8,168%. The way that the Olympus Dao is able to guarantee this kind of APY is through the bonding feature, and that's the reason why I chose to talk about the bonding feature before going to the staking one. Because through the bonding feature, people are providing liquidity and assets to the protocol. And all of these assets are used to back the new tokens that are minted, that are distributed. And the distribution mechanism is called rebase, as you can see here, and it is going on 3 times a day. And it is the same mechanism of Wonderland Money and also of Climate DAO. The way it works is really simple. Even in this case, you have to approve the contract. Once you have approved it, you have only to just stake, so to load your OHM tokens. In the moment when you are staking your OHM, you will receive in exchange some SOHM, that is staked OHM. And during the time, the amount of SOHM that you have in your portfolio is increasing accordingly to your APY. If you want to monitor how much you have earned from the moment when you have entered, you have just to look at the current index. So you have just to, let's say that we have entered and at 27.0, you have to just keep an eye on the ratio between the value you have entered in with the value that we are at the moment, so in this case 27.8. So as you can understand, Olympus Dao is working on the game theory, so it is creating some incentives for the people who are staking. So and in order to stake, you need to own some tokens that you can buy from the market, or you can use the bonding feature in order to acquire them. In this way, the protocol is sustaining the price, and also at the same time, it is creating some incentives for people to bond new liquidity. And this kind of liquidity is used to increase the treasury of the Olympus Dao, because the treasury is really important, because as you have seen from the dashboard here, this is a value that is really important. Backing per OHM, so how much value is behind for real behind each token. Yes, because it's true that the price right now of each token is 1,100, but it's also true that the real value that is behind each token is just 190. Remember that exactly on how it works for Wonderland Money, the Olympus Dao is guaranteeing that they will start buying back tokens only from the moment when the price of one OHM is going below the $1. This kind of number could change in the future according to how much and how high is the reserve into the treasury of the Olympus Dao. In this case, the threshold at which the platform could be able to start buying back their own token is around $190. Differently from what we have seen on Wonderland Money, they have introduced also the 3.3 together. That is like a price pool. They are using a third platform that is the price pool. If you want to know more, you can click on it and it will open the pool together platform. The mechanism is quite simple. You have just to deposit your tokens, and you are buying a ticket in order to have the opportunity to earn even more tokens. In this moment, the actual price, so the actual reward that you will receive if you win this kind of, let's say, a lottery, it is the number that you are seeing here, 318 SOHM. I'm not really a fan of this kind of feature, but I have to admit that is just another way to interact with the community, to create some dynamic and some use case in order to incentivize people to own the tokens and to use them. So I will not use it. If you want to use it, do it. Remember, this is just like participating to a lottery, so that's not any kind of investment, but it is just like a game. So if you want to play, that's fine, that's okay for me, but remember that it's just a game and not an investment. Okay guys, that's the overview on how does it work, the Olympus Dao. This is also the documentation that I highly recommend you to have a look on how does it work. As a final thought about this kind of platform, as I said at the beginning, I'm starting to like this kind of platform because I'm seeing some new experiment. And yes, that's true that this kind of platform is a high risky platform, so I'm not encouraging you to use it. And as I said before, for Wonderland Money, I'm not a user of Olympus Dao, so I don't have any interest into the platform. But I have to admit that it's quite interesting the way they are working, and that's good to see new platforms that are trying to experiment in a way that seems legit, because obviously it seems, I don't know the team, I don't know what they are, their goals and why they have started this kind of, let's say, an experiment. But I have to admit that it's quite interesting, and I'm really curious to see what will happen in the next future. Guys, as always, if you have any kind of question, just write me into the comments below and I will be more than happy to answer to you. And I will see you tomorrow with another video. And please guys, leave me also a big thumbs up to help me grow the channel and keep going with this kind of work. Thank you guys. Bye.